Hi, my name is Md Zaman. I'm a manager in the engineering department. Today I'll be CADing a toy truck using Onshape. I'll start off in Part Studios and creating a sketch. As you can see, I'm using the rectangle tool to create the basic sketch of the truck. Now you can see the final sketch of the truck and the measurements so you can follow along as I'm creating this truck. Now I'll be extruding it to make it look like a 3D object. Moving on, I'm sketching out the shell of the wheel where the wheels are supposed to be using the 3-point circle and the point tool. You can use these measurements to recreate this specific part on your project. As you can see here, I'm just extruding the part out on both sides, and now I'm using the fillet tool to round it out to make it look smoother. I'm also doing it for the truck sides, so the truck sides also look a little smoother. And now it's the time to create the hole where the wheels is gonna be. Now it's time to create the bumper of the truck. I'm creating a rectangle on the bottom, an inch away from the bottom of the truck, and then extruding it out so it looks like a bumper. Now just adding the sides so the truck side is also protected. And I'm doing the same thing here. Finally, the last finishing touch, I'm just using the fillet tool to round out the sides. To add on to the aesthetics, I'm creating the middle separation that separates the windshield of the truck. This is one of my favorite parts, creating the grills of the truck. I'm just creating rectangles in the front of the truck to represent grills that are on an actual truck. If any of you are a beginner CADer on Onshape, using the dimension tool, you can change the size of anything. You can also use the dimension tool to change the angle of your sketch entities. I'm going to start designing my window by creating lines starting off from the windshield and going up to the roof of the truck. I'm setting points so the window is a little lower than the roof and a little farther than the windshield. Anyway, I'm just connecting all the points to create the shape of the window. One essential tool that all beginners should know about is the trim tool. You can trim out any excess line that you don't want. Another tool is the sketch fillet tool. As you can see, I use that to round out the top side to match with the roof. Finally, I'm just extruding out the windows to both sides so you can see the windows coming out of the truck. Moving on to the exhaust of the truck. First, I'm starting off by creating a cylinder, and I did that by creating a circle and then extruding it out to create a cylinder. And now I'm just creating another circle on top of that to have that exhaust shape. The cool feature about Onshape is that you can create folders, as I did for this pipe or exhaust. I created a folder and put it in there. And now I'm creating the top part of the exhaust where the exhaust comes out. As you can see, I'm using the dimension tool to change the angles and then using the fillet tool to round out the sides. Now I'm using the shell tool to make it look more realistic, so there's holes on the top of the exhaust, so where the exhaust comes out. And then I created an assembly. It's another workspace where you can put together your parts that you made in Part Studios, and I just put 2 of those parts together. I went back to my main folder and created another assembly where the whole truck is going to be assembled. Now I'm just inserting all the parts that I created in Part Studios, and now I'm going to rotate the exhaust 90 degrees clockwise and then use the Fasten Meet tool to connect it to the back of the truck. Fasten Meet tool is used to connect 2 objects together. Now I'm clicking on the bottom left plus to create a new part studios. Moving on, I'm creating 2 cylinders to represent an oil tank. Now I'm making the inner cylinder a little bigger than the outer cylinder. The purpose for this is to help us color later on. Now I'm inserting the oil tank inside the final assembly and connecting it to the truck itself. Time to move on to create the rim and the wheel of the truck. So first I created the wheel. It could be any design you want, and the wheel has to be smaller than the hole you created on the truck. I also assembled the wheels on a separate assembly, so it helps us put the wheels together in the final assembly. I'm doing the same thing I did for the exhaust. I'm inserting the wheels and rotating it, and then using the fasten mate tool to connect it to the truck itself. I'm almost done creating the truck. Now I'm just going to create the cargo trailer of the truck. First, I'm going to create a square and then using sketch fill to round out the side. I'm extruding the cargo trailer out so it looks like a big truck trailer. Now I'm going back to my old wheel design and copying and pasting it to my cargo truck trailer. Moving on, I'm creating the part where the trailer will connect to the truck itself. I created a rectangle 1 inch away from the bottom and then used the fillet tool to round out the sides. And now I'm just creating a hole where the truck would connect. The trailer look a little better. I'm just filleting out the top so it looks a little smoother. Now I'm just creating the same thing I did for the trailer, but I'm making it 2 inches higher and rounding out the sides, but instead of creating a hole, I'm creating a cylinder that's coming down. Moving on, I'm adding the trailer to the assembly and then using the fasten mate tool to connect it to the truck itself. And now I'm just inserting all the wheels and connecting it to the trailer. It's time to color. And the way you color is by right clicking the part that you want to color and then choose the color you want that part to be. I would like to thank you guys for supporting us on behalf of our organization, Full Metal Beavers. You can write on any part that you created by using the text tool and then extruding it to look 3D. And this is the final product. Hope you guys like it. Thank you for watching, and this concludes this tutorial.